Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Seth and your Uncle Paul. It happened, Paul. The high-flying Nikola fell. They lost their partnership this week with GM, and the unthinkable happened, especially for EV, Tesla fanboys, Neo fanboys. Nikola, this rising star, did exactly what you talk about some of these EV companies could quite possibly do, is it fell. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this. We talk a lot about parabolic stock rises. Every other video on the internet is about buying Tesla and Neo. When it comes to investing, how it's such a great purchase. And you have been coaching from the very get-go for many, many years how they are not. So I wanted to ask your opinions on Nikola. And did you see this coming? And are you surprised? I'm guessing the answer is no. Tell me your thoughts.
So back when Nikola became a big thing back in May, June, everybody and their mother was buying the stock. It was the next Tesla. Guys, they have like no revenue compared to Neo and Tesla, and I get that. But the point is, it was valued at, I think it got to $80, which would make it valued at roughly $25 billion maybe. I don't know. What was the market cap back then? Let's see. What was the market cap back then? 30 billion? Okay, so about $30 billion. So I look at this thing. This was so obvious because they had no revenue, and it was all in hype. They got the partnership with GM. You see the collapse here. Guys, keep in mind, the GM partnership was just dissolved like recently, and it still was down a lot. It got back up to 35 and then collapsed again. Now it's in half in the last week. Guys, this is not shocking. Could I have guessed this? Yeah, I probably said it wasn't going to do well. Did I think it was going to happen this fast? No, I actually thought it was going to take longer than this. But we see the same thing happening with Neo. We see the same thing with Tesla. And everybody says, but it's the future. It's the future. Guys, this is the future. Why not anymore? Oh, because GM doesn't. Somebody says, well, Paul, you don't get it. GM. That's the point of investing, guys. In investing, you have to look at the possible outcomes and assign chances of them happening. Nikola's entire business was based on this partnership with GM. So you're going to go give it a value of $30 billion, Ford's value, by the way, just based on a partnership potential with another manufacturer. Please tell me that rings to you about why that's ridiculous. You might tell me, well, it's electric cars. It's different. It's not technology. It's cars. That's all it is. GM, all these car companies know how to make electric cars. They are working on electric cars. Chevy and GM have had an electric car. So I don't want to hear that it's about the technology and it's a technology company. It is not. It is a car company. And their entire existence was based on GM. That's a problem. Whenever you have any sort of business that's relying on one source, that's a concern, and you should be worried about that. Hence why the stock is now down 80%. These are the things that play out in every bubble, in every major hype stock, all euphoric. Doesn't mean Nikola won't be around. They can survive. How? I don't know, because they have no revenue. But they can survive. But it's going to be, and guess what? They can rebound from here. They can go from 17 to 100. I don't know where it's going to go. My whole point is, the most devastating thing that can happen to you is that this works for you. Because then in the future, you'll say, well, it worked on Nikola. It's going to make you cockier. You're going to go do other stocks like this. You'll eventually lose a lot of money.
Paul, we did a video. I'm cutting you right off because we did a video about how ridiculous you think Neo investing is. It's a very similar trend, this parabolic climb. And one of the comments in the video was, yeah, but it was you were comparing Neo versus Berkshire Hathaway, an amazing company. And someone wrote
Tesla to Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, Tesla. My apologies. Yeah, because my apologies. Regardless, it's sort of the same climb. And someone said, yeah, but does Berkshire Hathaway make electric cars and have such a bright future? And I said, I commented on the comment before you did. No, they don't make cars. They just make a boatload of money. Why are people so enamored with these potential companies that bring in very, very little revenue? Versus just a solid company that just shows that they just make money every single year. I'm drawn to them myself, and I still don't get why I am.
What's sexier, Dairy Queen and Fruit of the Loom or Tesla?
Fruit of the Loom.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. People sit there and they say, oh, I'm rational, I think different. But then when it comes to this, they don't think different. They say, I prefer boring. Because you know what boring means to me? Boring means nobody else wants it. The price is going to be lower. I get to buy more revenue and profit for less money. I like that. It's about return on investment. At the end of the day, your end money is going to be based on your return on investment. So the higher return on investment I can get from cash flow, the more likely I am to make a lot of money, take that cash flow and invest stupidly in Tesla and Neo if I want to. That's what I don't get. I showed 5 companies in the Tesla video that you could buy and own and outright instead of Tesla. In fact, one of our Patreon users emailed me and messaged me and goes, "Oh my God, when I saw that, I sold all my Tesla." I'm like, well, maybe you should have done that. He goes, "No, I'm fine with that." It was a wake-up call. And they said, I could have bought these 5 amazing companies that generate a lot of profit and revenue instead of having Tesla. Yeah, I'm out. I mean, it makes sense to me. That's the way I think. Is it boring? Absolutely. You know who else is boring? Warren Buffett. You know who else is boring? Howard Marks. You know who else is boring? Seth Klarman. Go look those guys up. Those guys think the exact same way, and they're bored as hell counting their billions of dollars. And you might sit there and say, well, so was Elon Musk. Elon Musk has come out many times in the past saying Tesla's overpriced. And that guy's selling shares like crazy in order to pay for his other projects. If you think for a second Elon's not behind the doors going, what are these people thinking? This is insane. Elon Musk makes more money as the stock goes up. He's going to sit there and hype it. And behind closed doors, I guarantee he's like, what is going on here? At the equivalent of $30 a share, 3 years ago, Elon Musk said that Tesla was overpriced. It is now $5.50 a share, $5.80 a share. That's what, 15 times bigger. And you're telling me he thinks, no, now it's reasonable. Come on.
I want to get your thoughts, Paul, because I just imagine how many Tesla investors and Neo investors, if you're watching this, if you're one of them, not Coke investors. We do love Coke, though, Paul. But Pepsi, we proved, was, I think, a stronger company. But
I think it was a better choice.
I digress. How many of you watching this show even own a Tesla, have been in one, know what a Neo car looks like? What about the charging station structure in China? Has that ever crossed anyone's mind, Paul? This is from a guy.
These are things that are very important to ask. And the other thing is, I hate to break this to you guys, Tesla went from like the best brand reliability to almost one of the worst ones this year. I love Tesla. I really do like it a lot.
I have a Tesla in my garage, guys. So like, I'm on this this thin ice of like, I love the car.
You can love
hate the fundamentals.
I love Amazon. I use Amazon literally to buy like Q-tips. Everything I buy is from Amazon. I would never touch the Amazon shares at this price. Not going to happen. Okay. It doesn't mean I don't. It's funny. People be like, why do you use Amazon so much? You think they're overpriced? I'm like, company versus stock. Company versus stock. They are completely different things to me. They should be completely different things to you, but they're not. And that does not what makes sense. Everybody takes the Peter Lynch, invest in what you love. That's not what he means. Invest in what you love at a reasonable price.
Yeah, so Paul, describe this. You know, like we bring up a topic of conversation, a very laughable topic of conversation is another YouTuber named Stock Mo. And every single video says something to the effect of Neo, Tesla, 10x, 3x, 5x your money instantly. And then last week, go on.
Can I be polite? Stock Mo, he's an idiot.
Last week, this guy said,
he's
Paul, that
he's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He said he's been coaching from the...
Daddy's speaking.
Go ahead.
He was literally talking about... We were watching one of his videos, and he was talking about, look at the earnings of the company, and he was talking about the future estimated earnings, and he called it the current earnings. He is a moron. He has no idea what he's talking about. He literally looks at the stock and goes, oh, look, it's up this week. It's probably a good buy. He is stupid. And everybody loves him. You know why? Because he's telling them exactly what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think. If you don't like it, fine. More power to you. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me whatever you want. But move on. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just telling you how I view the world, and it's a lot different than most people. And over long periods of time, Seth said to me recently, Paul, you've been wrong for 5 years. And what did I say back? I've been right for 150 years.
Yeah.
If you look back at the last 150 years, my methods work every single time over long periods of time without equivocation. There has never been a period of time in which it was like permanently that Paul, you were wrong permanently. Nope. It always ends up going back to what I believe.
Well, Paul, I bring up stock mode because this all comes back around. The Neo, the Nikola, the Tesla. I find that if you're investing in this, I'm guessing you don't know anything about even the products these companies are offering. If you've never been in the car, seen the car, been to the website, I don't know anything about Nikola. So I guess the point is, Paul, is it's really just the hype. All the people talking about Neo, Nikola, people don't even know about it. They're ready to throw their hard-earned money in this. So what is an alternative besides these hype? I bring up stock mode because he actually said, Paul, that he was coaching people to stay away from hype stocks, and my mind almost exploded because this clickbait articles about NIO and Tesla is every single video. So what should people do when it all comes down to it, Paul? Stay away. Go ahead.
Question, Seth. What'd you do in revenue this year?
What did I do in revenue?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a down year, so I probably did 180 maybe.
You know what Nikola did this year in revenue?
Go on.
150,000.
Do what?
$150,000 this year in revenue. In the last year, the trailing 12 months, they've done $150,000 in revenue. You've done more in revenue than Nikola.
Come on.
Nope. Hey, Seth, guys, question. Are you worth $6.6 billion?
Gosh, that's just shocking.
But do you see my point there? I'm not saying Nikola's worth zero, even though you can make the argument they're worth zero. You can make a really strong argument they're worth zero. I'm just sitting there saying it's not worth $6.6 billion. That's my point. The great thing about being an investor for me is I look at the current price, I look at the current value. If there's a difference where the price is above the value, I don't buy. If it's the other way around, I buy. It's that simple. Now, the hard process is determining the value because there's a lot of inputs and assumptions you have to make. But the whole point is the great thing about Nikola and Tesla and all these other companies, I don't have to go any further than, oh, market cap of 6.6, revenue, yep, pass. That's simple. Don't care.
You don't feel like you're missing out on these huge parabolic gains?
Zero FOMO. Zero. The only FOMO I have is that shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm glad you finally called out Stock Mode because he literally says the exact opposite, Paul. They love this parabolic climb because absolutely 100% this puppy is going up. There's no way it could ever look like this graph that just happened this week.
Well, listen, we're talking about more high-level theoretical ideas here, fundamental ideas here. I just urge everybody, and I'll go back again in this video and show the same thing. Seth, should we do the same thing about Microsoft and look at all these companies from the tech boom?
Sure.
They're still around today. I want to show you guys this. This is important. The tech boom of the 99-2000, the internet changed the world. I'm going to show you these companies and show you what they did at that time to say that, hey, listen, they were around. They had massive growth from then to now, and look at their stocks comparatively to Microsoft hit a peak of $60 a share, and in that time period, they hit a trough of $20 a share. They lost 66% of their value in a matter of 1 year. 1 year, guys. 1 year, peak to trough. 1 year, okay? Let's go to look at Intel. Get rid of Microsoft. Intel hit a peak of 75, bottomed out at 13. Another 80+% drop. Intel's still around. It still does very well. And guess what? It's currently selling at $47 a share. It's not even at its previous peak. 20 years later, and the company has billions and billions more in revenue and profit. And it's now still selling for lower than its peak. Let's add another one, Cisco. This is a huge one back in the day. The peak of $80 a share. Fell down to a 90% drop in price. It's still around today, still making tons of money, but considered boring. All these companies, pick another one, AMD. We talk about AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Hit a peak of 47. Bottomed out at $3 per share. It is still around today, and it's worth $100 billion today. They're still around. These are the companies that actually made it, and they still fell 80, 90, 95%. And these are the ones that made it, guys. I'm not even looking at the ones that didn't even make it. You can't even look that up here. Pets, all these other ones, pets.com, MVP.com, all these ones that went public and went to zero. My dad had a doctor friend of his. At one point in the market peak, he had $5 million in tech stocks. I saw him a year and a half later. I said, how are your stocks doing? And he laughed. He goes, they're worth less than $50,000 total. I go, the $5 million? He said, yeah, I've lost over 99% of my money. It happens. He was all in these tech stocks. They went to zero. If you think this is different this time, and you're telling me it's better than the internet age, when the internet came out and changed our lives, you are stupid. You need to flush your money down the toilet because you should not have money. You are a moron.
If you love this approach that Paul's giving you, if this video worries you and what your friends are telling you, this is where you need to follow the Everything Money channel with Seth and Paul. You will get more of this disciplined investing advice. And as always, we thank you for your videos, Paul. We are not going to get a lot of love.
If you're not a moron, subscribe to our channel, like our video, join our Patreon. If you are a moron and want to tell me how much of an a-hole I am, like our video, subscribe to our channel, comment, join our Patreon because you'll get full access to just sending me messages saying you're a moron, Paul. Either way, it's worth the money, I think.
We'll be doing a lot more. We do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Paul will be live streaming from Mexico, your Mexico mansion in January. That's the super flex.
I'm live streaming from Vegas on Thursday, although this probably won't post by then.
Unlike the other YouTubers who are recording basement style videos, we will be in Mexico, Paul's Mexico mansion in January to do
Which
a few
one?
lives. One of the two mansions in Mexico. Yes, this guy's for real, and you'll see that if you join our Patreon. Like, subscribe. Thanks, guys. We love you. Thanks for watching, and don't buy that stupid Nikola stock. I love you guys. See you, Paul.